We just heard what happened to a blind man by the name Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus. He saw that Jesus was coming to pass through where he was sitting, and he seized the opportunity to request for help from Jesus. And what he did is an act of prayer. What he did is an act of prayer. And I want us this evening to reflect on what prayer is really and the significance of prayer. We all know what prayer is already. But one fine thing with prayer is that in prayer, sometimes you don't even need to say anything, and you have said everything when you are in prayer. And sometimes you use all the words, but you have not really prayed. Sometimes, not all the times. The good thing about prayer is that you can pray it anywhere. You can pray anywhere. You can pray anytime. You can pray with anyone. You can pray in any language. It is free, not for sale. You don't have to pay tax to pray. That is a fine thing about prayer. And that was what this man did. For those of you who keep wondering, why is God far away from me? God is not far away from you. He is as close to you as the next prayer you are going to pray. He is not far away from you, but He is as close to you as the next prayer you pray. That is how close God is to you. A prayerful Christian can see everything that when he or she stands up without prayer will not be able to see. A prayerful Christian on his or her knees will see everything that he or she will not see when she's standing up or he is standing up without prayer. These are things that prayer can do for us. Prayer is not really getting God to do our will for us. Prayer is we getting ready to do the will of God. It is not really we getting God to do our will for us, but it is that we are getting ready to do the will of God. Prayer is the doorway that paves God's intervention. Prayer is the doorway that paves God's intervention. If blind Bartimaeus had not prayed, the intervention he needed for God to receive his sight wouldn't have happened. Prayer is the doorway that paves God's intervention in our lives. Prayer do not need proof. It needs practice. Prayer do not need any proof. It doesn't need any proof before you pray. All it needs is practice. When you practice it, you will see its proof. Sometimes we are so down, we are so weary, we are so worried, and then we say, when will God help me? We keep lamenting, when will God help me? And God on His own end is saying, when will she pray so that I can help? He keeps saying, when will she pray so that I can help? When? We need to pray. We need to quit hitting the snooze alarm button We put alarm, we set alarm so that we will pray at a particular time, maybe in the morning before we get to work. And then when the alarm rings, because it's still too early, we want to catch a little sleep, so we keep hitting the snooze alarm button. We need to quit hitting the snooze alarm button and get to pray. If you do not meet God at the beginning of the day first, before stepping out of your house, you are most likely to meet things during the day that you wish you had not met, or people you wished you had not met if you had met God earlier. If you had met God earlier. I need God to give us our daily bread. You need, and I also need God to give us our daily strength. You need God, I need God to give us our daily wisdom, to give us our daily power, to give us our daily joy, to give us our daily health. We need God to give us all we need every day. Imagine what you could do right now without God, and you feel satisfied. How much more will you do with God? What you are even able to accomplish now without God is like a percent, just one, of what you could accomplish if you pray and ask God to help. Never put this into practice. Never meet people and circumstances before you come back to meet God. Try to meet God first before meeting circumstances and people. Oftentimes, we are not proactive in prayer, we are reactive in prayer. It is when things are going wrong that we go to God and ask for His intervention. That is reaction. We need to be proactive beforehand so that when we get to those situations, God is already taking care of them. Prayer is an insurance policy. We need to pray. You are coming to the church, you need to pray. Book masses. It is a culture that is dying now. Book masses. It is said, with God, nothing is impossible. With a prayerful Christian also, nothing is impossible. As powerful as God is, listen to this, as powerful as God is, He cannot answer your prayers if you don't pray. That was why in Genesis, Jacob wrestled with God until he answered his prayer and changed his name and changed his life. In Exodus, Moses prayed and the sea parted its way for them to go through. When they needed water, he prayed and water came out from the rock. In the same Genesis, when they needed food, he prayed and God provided for them. Is it in Joshua? Joshua prayed and the walls of Jericho crumbled. Is it in 1 Samuel? Anna prayed and that barrenness she was experiencing was broken and then she had children. Is it in Chronicles? Hezekiah was practically going to face an army that he has no possible means of winning. But when he prayed, God sent an angel, just one angel, to take out 185,000 soldiers, only just one night. The same Hezekiah, when he was told that he was not going to recover from his sickness, he prayed, and then God gave him another 15 years to live. Prayer. The Jews were going to be killed in the book of Esther. For when all the Jews together with Esther prayed, their enemies were killed and not the Jews any longer. In the book of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the burning furnace. But before they would they were thrown into the burning furnace, they prayed. Fire became an air condition. What about Daniel himself? He was going to be fed to the lions. Because he prayed, the lions became his roommates. Paul and Silas, they were in chains in prison. They prayed. The chains broke. The prison doors opened, and then they left. Today in our gospel, this blind man, he prayed and things changed. He received his sight. Are you sick? I tell you, pray. Are you depressed? I say, pray. Are you having issues with your relationship or marriage? Again, I say, pray. Are you looking for a job? I tell you, pray. Are you struggling in your life with addiction or habitual sin? I assure you, if you pray, things will change. Are you confused or frustrated with life? Pray. Pray. Are you going through a difficult time and you need to make a decision? I tell you to pray. Pray. Are your loved ones going through issues? Pray for them. Pray for them. Is your business having issues? Is it failing? Pray. Are you going through financial stress? Pray. Are you struggling through something so difficult? Pray. Don't stop praying. Pray and pray and pray and pray. Are you in need of wisdom, in need of peace, in need of health? Pray. Attack that thing which is attacking you, and don't stop attacking. Keep attacking in prayer, and don't stop until you put it down with prayer. God bless you.